Every dog has its day. Just because you're a sovereign does not mean you cannot be detained. It does not mean you can't be murdered. It does not mean you can't be imprisoned by the police. This is serious. When you decide that you want to put your energy into this, know that you are risking your life. It's the same as a suicide mission. I guess I've never mentioned this. You see, even me right now, I've been officially quarantined now. Officially. I'm not gonna. I'll go into why, over the next few episodes, but that's the bottom line. And I'm gonna give you a brief analogy on why, and then I'll go into the next episode. It's a part of Monopoly, and it says, "Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200." What does that mean? I'm serious about this. People may be laughing or whatever, but I'm serious. What does that mean? This means that at a certain phase, when you're traveling on this road of life, and when you get to a point where your efforts of moving around the board has you in debt and you find yourself losing more money than you're making when you're moving around the board, this is how people get into what's called a debtor situation. And when you're a CEO or a person like myself, any type of leader or CEO or minister or person that's responsible for people, hedge fund leader, whatever the case may be, you have responsibility. You have to pave the way forward for people. And it could get to a point where if a person owes you money, you owe other people money. And if that happens on a mass level, you could find yourself in a situation where you are told, do not pass go, do not collect $200. What do you mean by that? Does that mean you don't make any money? No, this just simply means that the game of life has moved ahead of you. Meaning that if you go to work every day at this point and you go home and go to sleep and keep doing that for the next 20 years, you're not going to have nothing, guaranteed. A lot of people have to sit back and think about that. If you continue to do what you're doing and the game of life keeps moving on the rate that it's moving, will you have something in the end? And if you don't, you'll find yourself listening to the same statement. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Am I saying that Imhotep is literally in jail? No. I have been literally in prison for being a victim to this punishment, whether it was my fault or not. Meaning that, yes, I have been in jail because people have owed me money as a sovereign. And the first time this was explained to me, it was explained to me by Eastern Star. And she explained to me that until you clean this up, brother, they're going to always come up with this is what she termed, pseudo charges, because they have to tax you for the money that you owe them for not taking care of your business as a sovereign. And this goes for anybody. I see all these new people. I heard these label owners and people running for president and stuff like that. And I'm just going to say this. You are responsible at that point for making sure that you have more credit than debt as a public figure. People think this is so easy. This isn't easy. There's nothing easy about this. You got to make payments on this. This isn't the easy buy it up front, pay cash, drive off as is. This isn't this. You have to make payments on this. And if you ever get behind somebody, when I say this, I'm speaking of sovereignty and what I do. And when you get behind, just like anyone else, there's penalties. It's similar to a debtor situation, but there's penalties. If you weren't from this country, they would deport you. They would deport you. In my situation, I'm an indigenous Moroccan that came to this country at a certain point. When I was a kid, my family came to this country at a certain point, so I would be considered, based upon the tracing of my lineage, literally considered an indigenous Moroccan born here in America. So that's my situation. And in that, you get credit when you're first born, you get a certain amount of credit in my situation. And once that credit turns into debt, you are now in a negative, regardless someone else used it and you were extorted, or if you went and used it yourself. it doesn't matter. So now you have to do what's called either acceptance for value or trading or some form of sacrifice to get back the credit that you lost. And if you don't, you'll find yourself in a situation where they tell you, do not pass go, do not collect $200 until you get ahead, meaning that you're ahead of the game of life, meaning that